Listen, let's focus on Gabriel Martinelli, shall we? He's been in fine form this season. So much so that producer Joe has tipped him for the next Ballon d'Or. The next one, Joe.
No, we didn't say next one. He said he could win a Ballon d'Or.
That's what it says here. Joe has tipped him for the next Ballon d'Or. And Joe, you wrote that. He's delighted Arsenal fans this week, not Joe, when he was asked about signing a new deal at the club.
I'm very happy at Arsenal. I said it many times. This is my club. I love to be here. I love the city. I love the club. I love everything about Arsenal. So I want to stay.
They just need to get a pen.
Yeah, I just need to get a pen.
Why isn't he signing a deal if all he needs to do is get a pen? I've got a couple
I'm guessing there must be one or two issues that he'd like to resolve a little bit. Could be bonuses. It could be so many different little aspects. I mean, when you hear about players' contracts, it's almost like, right, he's getting, I don't know, I'll give you an example, 100 grand a week. There's so many little permutations to that. It might be appearance fee, there might be a goal bonus in there, there will be a win bonus in there. There's so much stuff. And also as well, if he plays a certain amount of games, it might go up to another a period. Do you know what I mean? He might want a buyout clause in there. It could be so much stuff. It's not just that simple.
When you were signing, we'll come back to him in a sec, but I'm curious as to how it works when you're a player. So when you were signing either new extensions at a club or when you go to a new club, for argument's sake, Spurs, and you get a new contract put in front of you, do you see the contract or does your agent just phone you up and go, right, this is the deal, black and white, basically, that this is happening, they've offered you that and so on?
You can see it if you want to, but a lot of the time you'd obviously get your agent, he'd say, right, go through it in detail, what they're offering you, and you go through absolutely everything, and then you just say to him basically yes or no, whether you want, happy to sign it. You might say to him, I want a bit more in that, or do you know what I mean? It could be anything, but your agent would usually go through it in a fine detail. This is what they're offering you, and then go from there.
Would the agent recommend that you do sign it, you don't sign it? Is it down to you? Do you speak to your mum and dad? What will he be going through at the moment? Because he's only, 21 years old?
Yeah.
So he's a young kid, so this will be a big contract for him.
It's not like a transfer, it's signing a new contract. So, but also it comes down to as well, I know he's a young lad, as you said, 21, but he'll also be saying to himself, he'll in his head kind of have a rough idea what other players in the...
Really?
Yeah.
But you've told me you don't have that conversation.
No, but you can roughly tell what guys are on. Because you can...
He's got a new Armani bag.
No, but in that type of scenario, with obviously all the outside noise and stuff, you kind of get who the big earners are and who are down the
and you're reading
scale.
The newspapers, right?
And all that kind of stuff, right? So he'll know what he's worth to this Arsenal team. So he might start at a number that might seem ridiculous because he thinks he's worth that. The club might say, no, we're going to give you this. So then you might meet somewhere in the middle. That's usually how it works.
How good a player is he at the moment? How far can he go, do you think?
Well, he's playing at the top of his powers. He's getting better and better every single season. He had a period where he was quite struggling with injuries a little bit, but that seems to be behind him now. I mean, it's the pace, how direct he is every single time he gets the ball. I mean, I've watched Arsenal a lot this season. I've been there in the stadium. Every time he picks up the ball, there's almost like a... when he just starts driving with the balls, and you saw him against Liverpool, the finishing's got better as well. He's integral. If Arsenal want to keep going in the direction that they're going in, which it looks like an upward trajectory, he's going to be vital to that.
How vital is he? So I said going into break, because you've told me earlier on that Thomas Partey's top of your list, right? If you're going to list the players...
Is it most important? Yeah.
Okay, so Thomas Partey, for your money, if Thomas Partey gets an injury...
We struggle.
Okay. Give me the top 3 or 4. Is he in this, Martinelli? Is he in that?
So far, yeah. So my 4 would probably be... like the spine of the team to be Ramsdale, the goalkeeper.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure about Turner, the number 2.
Right.
To be Ramsdale, probably Saliba at centre half.
Yeah.
That Thomas Partey is kind of the glue.
You putting Odegaard in this?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But then Gabriel Jesus probably, they'd be the 4.
So Martinelli's not...
Maybe just outside that 3.
Right.
But Thomas Partey, when he's not in that Arsenal midfield,
yeah, I agree
they look complete, because then you're asking Xhaka to play a role that he doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
He wants the licence to go forward, get involved, score goals. When Thomas Partey's not there, he can't do that. But when Partey just sits there, he is the most important player at that club.
Does he, I mean, obviously at 21 he's still developing, right? Does he have a weakness? Do you look at his game and think he needs to improve this or that? Or
Well, yeah, I think as in aspects in all players' games, you can always get better. Like, he could be better maybe in the final third, maybe his finishing could be better, even though he's been quite prolific this season. Maybe his final ball when he gets into the box, decision making. There's loads he can still work on. He's not a finished article, nowhere near it. But if he keeps progressing, keeps working hard, he looks like he's at the right football club. And you got him, you got Saka, you got Smith Rowe.
So this is what I was going to say to you, from your perspective as an Arsenal fan, right? So many times we've come on here and we've talked and we've asked the question: why are Arsenal letting these players come down to the last year of their contract? Why are they letting them go for free? Do you think this is maybe the beginning of a new era at Arsenal? And if so, do you think Arteta's got a lot to do with that to make sure these young players are signed up for the next 2, 3, 4 years?
I think it comes down to if Arsenal are competing for Premier League titles, major honours in the Champions League every single season, then of course it's easier to keep these players. But obviously Van Persie got to a point where he'd had enough. Arsenal not winning, he goes to Manchester United, he wins. I mean, Fabregas, obviously, he left. You had the whole City contingent when you had people like Bakary Sagna leaving, Clichy left, Adebayor left. So as long as Arsenal competing at the right end of the table, getting in the Champions League, pushing City, I know it's difficult because City are just, for me, the best team on the planet. As long as they keep pushing and going in the right direction, then these youngsters should be happy to stay at this football club and help it grow. But they could be part of the reason why Arsenal keep growing.